T-Sippers. Hey, T-Sipper. Let's see what this giving. He ain't going nowhere. What's happening? What background I want? Which one I want to use? Do I want her or Diddy? Hmm. Hey, T-Sippers. So listen. Man, I tell you that Harvey, TMZ, you know, he is so up in they tail. It ain't even funny. It ain't even funny. He up in Diddy. See, ugh, I get it. He trying to protect his homie, that old angry guy. I don't want to call him, you know. But he all up in there. I was listening to him just a minute ago, him and Charles, you know, Charles, people trying to keep it real, and he still wanna hold on. He moving that goalpost. He's a goalpost mover. He is. I would call him he a eater. He's a eater. Well, why he not talking about that paperwork though? Why he not talking about that redacted paperwork? What is this? FD. Why he not talking about that? Harvey Levin. Why he not talking about where it said minors? Huh? Is he? Oh, he live.
What's the run store?
30 chairs, non-squeak.
What's run store?
15 non-wobble.
What's run store? What's run store? This sentence is not going to be what the prosecutors want, which is upwards of 4 years. That I think it's going to be closer to 2.
Here you go again. How long this been on? Oh, it just started. Okay, hold on.
And the judge is saying happened during sentence, not just about bail, but I think this is really interesting. So this is really interesting, and this is, I think, bad news for Diddy. That not just about bail, but I think.
Okay, let's go. Hold on. He just started.
This is really interesting.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to it, y'all. Bear with me. Y'all come in hitting the like button, please. I don't care how many it is of y'all. Come in hitting the like button.
So this is really interesting. And this is, I think, bad news for Diddy. That not just about bail, but I think this is maybe foretelling what could happen during sentencing. So the judge has denied Diddy bail. And the judge is saying that even though this is just a pure Mann Act violation, and that's what the defense was saying is, look, this is taking a prostitute across state lines.
It's not.
You know, Mark Garagos has said often that you'd sort of like go to the Burbank airport any Friday afternoon and see how many guys take prostitutes to Las Vegas. That's Mann Act violation. So why would you hold somebody without bail for that? So the judge is saying, look, that may be a point, but this is different because in this case, there was evidence of fraud, duress, and coercion.
That was
Fraud,
redacted.
force, and coercion. And the reason that's so significant is the jury didn't buy the argument beyond a reasonable doubt. But that doesn't mean they didn't believe it. It could be that the jury felt there probably was some kind of fraud, there probably was some kind of force, probably some kind of coercion, but not enough to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And whatever
It's
the
a
jury
lot
was
of it.
thinking, and maybe they were mixed, because we spoke with an alternate juror who felt that he was innocent, essentially. But a lot of jurors may have felt differently, that there was evidence.
That's
just
not true. He
enough.
said he
That's the
deserved
way
what
the
he
judge
get.
seems to feel.
But he didn't
that
think
the judge
that
said
it
there was evidence of
he didn't
fraud,
believe,
duress, coercion, force, and
but
that's not going to be good for his sentencing.
domestic.
Because the judge has some discretion in sentencing. I still think this sentence is not going to be what the prosecutors want, which is upwards of 4 years. That I think it's going to be closer to 2.
I don't know.
But maybe I'm misreading this because the
You-
judge does, hold him
Harvey,
with.
you know you are misreading it, and you're misreading it on purpose. You are hoping that whatever the other angry old white guy, the part guy with you, has been feeding you, whatever good old boys with your homeboy in the defense team is going to hold up. The problem is the one who was helping him. You hoping Trump still come up off of it and pardon him. You act like you are involved, Harvey, in this whole trafficking stuff, and you're still holding true to the good old boys mindset mentality. Cause it don't matter what facts are put out for you in this case, you move the goalposts. I was just about to play what you were saying right before this with Charles, and you was moving the goalposts. You was minimizing the federal judge, and so they've changed it and they've moved the positions or the judgments of the federal judges. So it's the appellate and the appeal. It's the yeah. You started moving the goalposts. Cause shit was changing and it wasn't going in the direction in which you and your angry old white guy friend, and I'm not being mean, that's the name of their podcast, Two Angry White Men. Yeah. Your plug, when you start saying your reliable source is old girl daddy. Yeah. And it's going opposite because the judge is pulling rank. And like he said before, what was redacted or what was not presented, we can think everything we want to think about and have judgment about what was presented to us. But there was more that the judge know that he allowed them to strike or not be admissible and all that type of stuff, so that when he give his ass a real good spanking, they can't come back and appeal it. He damn near gave them everything they wanted. Don't show that. But on the flip side of that, let me tell you, but what that judge Mulian used to say about the judge, whatever her name, Judy, about the tough reality of it is a little justice is that judge know that those jurors disobeyed his instructions on purpose. I could just stop right there. He knows, based on how he took the time and laid it out just as simple as day. They should have been able to find 2 of those charges in their racketeering, even if it was the 2 that they found him guilty of. They didn't even select them 2. So that judge in his right mind knows that they intentionally threw the case. So, because he can do a little rough justice, real justice, street justice, court justice, whatever one of them justice you want to grab, the judge is entitled to do that. Because, see, right now, he can be looking at it like he got an AunTeaFee mind and say, oh, y'all playing in my face. Y'all taking my kindness for weakness. See, that's how I be feeling when y'all come in and sit in my bushes and don't hit the like button. And then when I clown y'all or just hang up or just drop it, then folk think I'm being wrong. So that's kind of how the judge is right now. So y'all intentionally taking my kindness as weakness. Y'all think I'm new to this and I'm not true to this. So I'm going to show you. Denied. Denied. These are 2 separate. You have a history of violence. You haven't learned your lesson. You got this girl who was supposed to be witness number 3. You intimidated her. You was reaching out to them while you was in the jail. Yeah. She didn't appear until she thought you was going home. And now, since you finding out Trump probably ain't gonna pardon you, you begging on the phone. You don't think we've been listening to your phone calls? Ha! Hello? Huh? Yeah. You've been begging folk to come out and write a letter because you done got 50 million of them saying keep his ass in there. So you ain't learned nothing. You feel entitled. You think that your money can buy anything. Well, your money cannot buy you a get out of jail free card. And I think, I'm hopeful that we start seeing some real justice. Because right now, I'm beginning, y'all, they up here talking about how the law is supposed to be and the law. Well, hell, you got a president that's breaking the law every dang day. So what are we talking about? But let's listen, because Harvey is intentionally moving the goalposts. It's almost like he got a bet. Yeah. Or, you got a little hanky-panky going on. Let's listen.
Without bail for a Mann Act violation is a pretty extreme thing.
Well, he's
The other
extreme.
thing, by the way, that's really interesting is the defense argued that Diddy was not safe in the facility he's in right now.
So now
which
he's
is another
scared.
reason they wanted house arrest.
I thought he was a bad boy. Hold up. I thought he was a bad boy for life, huh? I thought he had a real good, strong kick leg. I thought he had some bionic action going on in that right leg. You mean to tell me his hand game, his feet game ain't shit? He's scared. I told you they sent a kite through that damn toilet, that shit bowl, and said, bring that shit to the yard. Bring them feet here. Bring them here. Not here. Here. Bring them feet that you was kicking and stomping. Bring them hands that you was hitting, grabbing her, dragging. Bring that here. Put it to work. Yeah. Bubba said, do me like you did Cassie. I told y'all that OG gangster Italian cat said word on the street. Hi, Carl. Bring that same energy. Exactly. Bring that ass her. Not here. Her. Bring it here. Diddy. You sit there tall and kite. Bring that ass her. Yeah, that old Italian mob, gangster, racketeer, whatever. He said, word on the streets is Diddy sit with informants. He sat at the table with informants. He said he did not get no damn round of applause by everybody. Hey from Bama. Hey Regina. He said he did not get no round of standing ovation from everybody. It was a few of his kind. Yeah, I know. A few of his kind. That was saying, oh, way to go, yeah. Bad boy. That ratchet shit, you know. Bad Jay-Z, hey. They said everybody else, all them other cliques, was sitting there eyeballing his ass, looking at him all upside his head, bumping into him on the cool to see, you know, what? Now he's scared. Now him scared. Yeah, he done got a no pass. They said, fuck that tallest shit. Ooh, yeah. He sent a note. The guard gave him a note. Oh, Lord. Now they passing me letters. He don't want to fight no more. He a changed man. How you get in jail and don't want to fight no more? Huh? You better get out there and represent. You better come back. I don't care if you limping or crawling, nigga. You better get out there and fight. Diddy scared, y'all. Diddy scared. Out of all the shit he done to people. You mean to tell me him scared? Him downstairs is scared. You lying to me. Him downstairs. Oh, boy said, come dance that ass over here. Come here. Bring that ass here. Him scared, y'all. Him $50 million scared. You lying, Harvey. You scared for Diddy too. Look at you. You scared for Diddy. Type of shit is that? Boy, you better get... Where is mama at? His mama need to send him a message that said, what did I tell you when you was little? You let them take your money. They finna take that ass. So you better get in there and fight. You better fight. I mean, you better not come out there and you better beat that ass. Y'all know how our mamas was when our first fight. Well, hell, I was young as a 6, so mine was in the house fighting for my day, you know. When it was my day to watch a certain thing on TV when we had to share shit, huh? He better get his ass in there and fight. You better fight like you was dragging her. Yeah, because they gonna drag your ass in the laundry room and go to work on that ass. You better believe it. They waiting on you the way you was throwing your ass up in the air with that Dave guy who mad at Cassie trying to position his buttocks up in the air to see if he was gonna take it. Yeah. That other one. What's the cute and fine one? What's his name? Rico. Yeah, him. He wanted to see, are you interested in three? You better threesome your ass on in that ring, and you better fight in hell. And if you lose, just play dead, or let them hit you and just let them act like they knocking your ass out so they can take you to an infirmary. But you better get your ass in there and fight. Huh? Smoke, yeah. Oh, I can't believe, Harvey Levin, you've been making excuses for Diddy this whole damn time, and now he done got denied. Now y'all saying him scared, his life is in danger. Y'all still trying to plead send a plea to Trump. His life is in danger. The hell everybody in their life in danger. The hell you mean? Everybody in their life is in danger. His life ain't special. Hell is wrong with you? What about everybody else? Yeah, he didn't think this shit through. He didn't think it through. Hey, Miss Tom, I'm on the road. Harvey Levin, he broke the news that Diddy was denied again, and now he in there crying, talking about his life is in danger. Baby and them done sent that ass a kite, saying bring all that energy here. You ain't going nowhere. You didn't hear AunTeaFee? She been singing your song since you been in there. You ain't going nowhere. How you a bad boy for life and your ass in there scared? What type of shit is that? Change your name. Change your label name. You ain't no damn bad boy. You a bad shim. Go. Let's go.
Is the defense argued that Diddy was not safe in the facility he's in right now, which is another.
Who is safe in there? I can't believe y'all saying that. His sons are gonna be in there with him in a minute. Because that's the environment that he created for him and his kids. Yeah, keep his ass in there. And now he got that girl coming out, crying, saying he's not a danger. He's saying it's my fault. Please let him out. He's saying it's my fault. He is going to send some. Yeah, so he done threatened her because Baby and Bubba and them threatening his ass. And Trump said, well, no, he talked that shit. He talked that shit. They showed his face today, Mrs. Tom. Oh, let me get off Harvey. They showed him. Shit. So he was already sick.
In his
Miss Tom, Mrs. Tom, he was already sick. That dangling was probably sick, allegedly. Is why he may have been sitting over there in that corner playing with himself. Cause because that thing was sick. Huh? Hello? And he sure didn't want that rumor that he was around there passing out for sick dangling. Yeah, her dumb ass. This one over here, I'm waiting to talk about you too, dumbass. Her, dummy. Dumb. You done told on him. You done sit with the feds. You said, I don't even want to hide my name. I'm coming out. You dying to roast their ass, and then you was a damn no-show. Now you popping out saying, he is a good guy. He's been redeemed by what? About what? Redeemed by what? What, huh? He ain't went to no therapy. He ain't none of that shit. And how you know? You wasn't even his last girlfriend. Shut up. You going hard for Cassie? I'm going hard for victims, Thomas. What's wrong with you? Thomas, you new over here? I'm gonna tell you to shut up too, cause you new over here. I go hard for all victims. Black, white, it don't matter. Kids. So shut up. You just talking. Get out his ass. You's an ass eater. Just like Harvey. Come on, I'm going hard for Cassie. I ain't said Cassie's name one time. Shut up. Shut up. I can't stand no. You've been up in that jail too. They done tagged you. I can't stand no ass eating man. Man up, nigga. You got a mama, sister, kid, a daughter, boys or girls. Do you know that there has been a kid, a minor, name that's redacted on that paperwork that wasn't presented to us? Shut up. I go hard for truth and justice. You are absolutely right, TB. Period. And I don't discriminate. Hell, what's wrong with you? You better shut up for you. As late as I was, and there is minors. We saw it last night that was redacted, blacked out. He didn't want the judge to see that shit. And cause he don't want us to know. Hell, we already knew you was playing with kids. You knew that. So the judge is supposed to keep his ass locked up. He's a threat. He's a danger. Not just to Cassie, not just to women, to men. As well as kids, boys and girls. Hell, what's wrong with you? It said minors. I ain't making excuses for no predators. And I mean none. I don't give a shit. Yeah, you better go. Because I'm finna get your ass up out of here. Let's listen.
Mentioned
Scary
in
ass.
ruling.
Hi, baby D.
There was a threat against Diddy. Charles, it was by an inmate? By an inmate against Diddy. Charles, it was by an, which is another reason they wanted house arrest. So the judge mentioned in his act violation is a pretty
Scary
extreme
ass.
thing. The other thing, by the way, that's really interesting is the defense argued that Diddy was not safe in the facility he's in right now, which is another reason they wanted house arrest.
You're going to have to fight like everybody else.
In his
Sleep what I want.
that there
One eye open and one eye closed.
Threat against Diddy. Charles, it was by an inmate? By an inmate. Yeah, we hadn't heard about it. But,
well, why did y'all have to hear about it? Y'all should have already known. AunTeaFee tried to tell you that the OGs had already said everybody wasn't fond of Diddy. Everybody saw that shit. They have TVs. They saw what he did. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why y'all had to see it. Yeah, he is not special. Keep your hands and feet to yourself. Yeah, there are consequences. Absolutely, Mrs. Thomas. Absolutely. Hell, and somebody in there could be related to the people that he abused. Y'all don't act like, huh? Yeah. Shit. Now he got a target on his butt, not his back. They don't want his back.
there was a threat against Diddy. Charles, it was by an inmate? By an inmate. Yeah, we hadn't heard about it. But still not enough to release him on house arrest.
How many people get threats? Why y'all acting like because somebody threatened him, he should get house arrest because somebody threatened Diddy? Are you crazy? People in jail get threatened all the time. Knuckle up. He got a good foot game. Nigga, you better put some rocks or something in your shoes, and when you kick, let it be your heavy foot. I don't know what you gotta do. I don't know what you better load up a whole bunch of socks with some of them utensils. I don't know what you got in there that got some weight on it, baby, but you better figure out your strategy. Stop crying on the damn phone. Stop talking shit to women on the phone, letting them hear you talk that manly, tough shit on the phone. Yeah, and you need to be in there being buddies with somebody and pay for some jailhouse protection, okay? But you got to get one off. You got to get one off, nigga. Win or lose, you need to get one or two off, since you known for kicking and swinging on females. Get your ass in there and fight. You better start hitting no gym. Yeah, get your ass off the phone and get your weight up, because you got a fight coming up. Yeah, and if you related to me, here I would say, you better not lose. You know how your mama and daddy used to say, hell, you come home, you lose, you got to fight me. Yeah, this is when you know if you're hood. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you ain't from the hood. If you know what I'm talking about, you got your hood card. You get your ass out there, you better not run, you better fight. Talking about he a bad boy for life. Harvey, can everybody let people know somebody done threaten? How many people you done threaten? Huh? So you the only one that can threaten. Can't nobody threaten you. Is that what you're telling us, Diddy? Shit, you better get in there. You better get in there. Yeah, stop begging for somebody to write letters for you, and you better start hitting that bag. Yeah.
Judge has slammed that door shut, so Diddy will be in that facility.
He said he slammed the door shut.
Which is another reason they wanted house arrest. So the judge met.
He said the judge slammed the door shut, y'all.
Some kind of fraud. There probably was some kind of force.
Hey, right, Samuel.
Kind of coercion, but not enough to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And whatever the jury is thinking, and maybe they were mixed, because we spoke with an alternate juror.
But shit, stop me when I'm lying. You better get your scary ass up in there.
A lot of jurors
talking about you a bad boy.
There was evidence
bad boys.
That's the way the judge seems to feel. That the judge said there was evidence of fraud, duress, coercion, force, and that's not going to be good for his sentencing. Because the judge has
yes, Sarah, that's what he thought. It ain't working this time.
I still think
I'm telling you, the judge is feeling like they played in my face. Yeah, I don't know what y'all did, who got to who, but yeah, no. And we all have to remember, whether it got dismissed, Sarah, or not, the judge knows what he allowed to be redacted, removed, not admissible. He knows all of that. He knows all the discovery that we didn't hear, nor that we saw. And he has to factor all of that in, not just what the jury said not guilty, because reality of it is the judge knows that they did not follow his instructions. Period. So since since they played that game, he gonna add a little rough justice to it. Yeah. Yeah. He should have been found guilty. If not of the two that they found him guilty on, would could have been the same two that got that racketeering. So they played in the judge's face. That's how the judge is looking at it. Yeah, it's simple to me. Yeah. So you beat it here, but now you still gotta face me here. And I know all your dirt. I know all the shit that the jurors didn't get a chance to see or hear. And again, like I said early this morning, way in the early morning. Thank you, Janet. Way in the early morning, I would not be surprised if Maureen Comey haven't sent the judge a letter to bring the judge up to date of what was going on and what was coming. The judge know that he also have a case that's coming. Why would he let him out on bond and he got a case coming? He gonna run. He gonna hide or he gonna pull a Houdini. He gonna pull up Machiavelli like Epstein did. He know these charges is coming, and he also know that there was a minor whose name and information was redacted. Y'all missed that early this morning, 3-4 o'clock this morning. It just when I thought I was finna go to sleep, oh boy, hit that paperwork and woke my ass right on up. Yeah, minors. So miss me with what he got away with. There were minors in the discovery. Shit. Keep his ass in there. And baby, if any of them folk in that jail heard that about them minors, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. If any of them people got a kite through them funky ass toilets that it was minors involved and that it was redacted. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to show it to y'all. Let's go. Come on, that's why old girl came out the woodwork.
It's not going to be what the prosecutors want, which is upwards of 4 years. That I think it's going to be closer to 2.
Hey,
but
Elizabeth.
maybe
You hope
I'm misreading this.
you
because
misreading
the judge does, holding him without bail for a Mann Act violation is a pretty extreme thing.
No, it ain't.
The other thing, by the way, that's really interesting is the defense argued that Diddy was not safe in the facility he's in right now, which is another reason they wanted house arrest. So the judge mentioned in his ruling that there was a threat against Diddy. Charles, it was by an inmate?
And?
By an inmate. Yeah, we hadn't heard about it.
Shit, Ira Kelly said somebody threatened him. Did he get his ass on house arrest? No. Everybody in there have been threatened. Hell, let everybody out then, if that's the case. Yeah. Who haven't been threatened in jail? Shut up.
Not enough to release him on house arrest. The judge has slammed that door shut, so Diddy will be in that facility until October 3rd when he is sentenced.
He ain't going nowhere.
And presumably, when he's sentenced, he's going to be moved to another facility because he's not going to just get out. The judge is going to give him some time.
Oh, now, now he changing his tune, y'all. He's singing, he done found a new song. I can't think of that song. He got a new song. I hate Purple Flower. He's singing a new song. Oh, Trump. Oh, Lord. Oh, he's singing. He hate to sing this song, y'all. He hate to say I was wrong. Shit, I told you a long time ago your ass was wrong. Shut up. Let's go.
On October 3rd, Diddy is going to find out where he's ultimately where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Depending on how long it is, it's going to be
so y'all hear that?
Do they put
y'all hear
to another facility because he's not going to just will be in that facility until October 3rd when he is sentenced. And presumably, when he's sentenced, he's going to be moved to another facility because he's not going to just get out. The judge is going to give him some time. So on October 3rd, Diddy is going to find out where he's going to.
And he's not going to Bryan, Texas, where it is Camp Cupcake. You're not going there. You're not going there. You talked about Trump. Yeah, you laughed in his face. All the time you want to take his place. Y'all all are pedos. Pedos. Yeah. So Harvey Levin, TMZ, he got law checked today. He got law checked today. He got law checked today. Yeah, I don't even need to go back and play what I was gonna play. Yeah, let's go.
When he's sentenced, he's going to be moved to another facility because he's not going to just get out. The judge is going to give him some time. So on October 3rd, Diddy is going to find out where he's ultimately going to go, depending on how long.
And he ain't going home.
Do they put him in a minimum security prison, a medium security prison, or maybe maximum?
He's violent. Violent. I hope they send him not based on what he was convicted of, well, what was in his discovery. Because whether the jury got it right or wrong, there were kids involved. I am sick of these grown-ass, perverted-ass people, men and women, doing harm and getting away with it. It's a pattern. And he's violent. Extremely.
Yeah, we hadn't heard about it. But still not enough to release him on house arrest. The judge has slammed that door shut.
Slam that door.
Be in that facility.
Don't talk to me no more.
Until October 3rd,
Show ass about here.
He's sentenced, and presumably, when he's sentenced, he's going to be moved to another facility because he's not going to just get out. The judge is going to give him some time. So on October 3rd, Diddy is going to find out.
Oh, Diddy's going home.
Ultimately, where he's
Diddy's going
go.
home. Yeah, okay.
Depending on how long it is, it's going to be interesting. Do they put him in a minimum security prison?
Reliable sources tell me. Some very reliable sources are saying Diddy's going home. Diddy's going home. Now he is not going home on the 3rd. He is going to know where his new home is going to be. Yeah, you better rewrite the song.
Medium security prison or maybe maximum? I don't know.
Maximum.
But if the judge is really looking at him as a violent guy, would he put him in a minimum security prison even though this is a Mann Act violation? I think it's bad news for Diddy. I think this is an indication that the sentence is not going to be the lightest and that the prison he goes to is probably not going to be a minimum security one, which is probably what he hoped for.
No.
Okay, we are going to now do our TMZ live show because we have to redo it because when we did it earlier in the day, we didn't know what the decision was.
And you was talking that crazy shit. And you was talking like that judge. Yeah, Charles had to say, come on, man. He is the federal judge. Yeah, you was talking that angry white guy with your informant. Yeah, the defense lady's daddy was feeding you in your ear. And y'all was really saying, yeah, Trump. Yeah, Trump said, fuck all y'all. Ha! Hello? To get the egg off your face.
Yeah, now we do. So Jackson, let's come over and let's do our TMZ live show within the show.
Ha!
Got it.
We love this land. this life, the open spaces.
See, it didn't work out. You've been talking all that noise.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles.
Yeah,
He tried to tell him.
We don't have to mention the woman now because she's irrelevant.
Oh, so now he's saying they don't even have to bring up old dumbass. He said, y'all listen, now Harvey said we don't even have to bring her up now because she's irrelevant. You're back to being irrelevant, Gina. Yeah, you are irrelevant. You are a non-factor. That shit didn't work. Now, what you have done with your slow to the bus ass is gonna have the judge and the feds look at you. Because either you was lying before or you was lying when you wrote that letter. And they built that case around the information and evidence that was presented to them from Cassie, you, and Dana. What's her name? Daphne, whatever. Jane Doe. Yeah. And it made them look like their case wasn't airtight because your ass was a no-show. Yeah, so here you are playing in everybody's face. You popped up to say he's a good guy, as if what you have to say is relevant when your ass didn't even show up in court. Shut up. So now she's back to being irrelevant. I need to change my thumbnail. I agree with Harvey. You're a non-factor. Hey, Ray. Bad boy. What you gonna do? Right on, Janet. Do we even need to hear what they were saying about her? He said we don't need to talk about her. She is a non-factor. Oh, how embarrassing. And I hope, and I typically don't I hope they do bring your ass up on charges for playing with our money, taxpayers' money. Eric, Diddy bond was denied again. The judge slammed the door in his face. He said, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. And then they said, oh, but somebody done threatened him. The judge said, I don't give a damn. You better be a bad boy and fight your way out of it. And then when I sentence you, you're going to be right back in court with a little rod because you did the more than a man act on him. Yeah. And there are minors. The paperwork that the judge is looking at includes minors. It just was not presented in court. Yeah. So TMZ Harvey Levin had to be the bearer of the good news and say that he has been wrong. Him and his buddy have gotten it wrong. The judge slammed the door in his face. Diddy ain't going nowhere. He don't care nothing about his life being in danger. He needs to man up. Put the same hands and feet he was putting on them women, on them baby kids in jail.
Because the judge has some discretion in sentencing. I still think this.
We don't care what you think. It shit don't matter.
It was by an inmate. Wanted house arrest. So the judge met. What's really interesting is the defense argued that Diddy was not safe in the facility he's in right now, which is another reason they.
And nor was them people safe. When he thought he was the, what was that? That guy, I can't even think of his name. When he was standing there like he God, standing in the window after he done threw a Molotov cocktail in this man's car, threatening people, having people take lie detector tests for 4 and 5 damn days, talking about throwing their ass in the East River. What? You don't think that they felt like their life was in danger? You don't think they were scared when you was doing all that mafia mob shit, godfather shit? Yeah, you said you was bad. You bad boy. Shit, hell you mean you done got people unalive? You done turned on your friends? You done paid to have your homeboy unalive? Yeah, yeah. Your baby mama came up with a pneumonia. You done rubbed something on her, gave these people something, giving them all type of, man, you better roll over. Take that, or get your ass in there and fight.
Wanted house arrest.
Like
So the
like
judge
you special.
mentioned in his ruling
Shut
that
up.
there was a threat against Diddy. Charles, it was by an inmate? Yeah. By an inmate. Yeah, we hadn't heard about it. But,
yeah, and that's why he didn't
still
want to
not
have to
enough
tell
to
us. Now
release
he
him.
want us to
on
feel
house.
sorry for him because this his platform. Yep, it sure is. Him and that other guy. Yep, but everything he been saying, it didn't matter. He said something earlier. That's why he's saying now he gotta change the title because it's totally different than the bull crap he was spitting earlier. Yeah.
There was a threat against Diddy.
And?
Charles, it was by an inmate? Yeah. By an inmate. Yeah, we hadn't heard about it. But still not enough to release him on house arrest. The judge slammed that door shut, so Diddy will be in that facility until October 3rd when he is sentenced. And presumably, when he's sentenced, he's going to be moved to another facility because he's not going to just get out. The judge is going to give him some time. So,
absolutely.
On October 3rd, Diddy is going to find out where he's going to go, depending on how long it is. It's going to be interesting. Do they put him in a minimum security prison, a medium security prison, or maybe maximum? I don't know. But
maximum.
If the judge is really looking at him as a violent guy, would he put him in a minimum security prison, even though this is a Mann Act violation? I think it's bad news for Diddy. I think this is...
I'm so disappointed in you, Harvey. How you minimizing it's just a Mann Act, and you know that judge is looking at all of the discovery, all of everything that they had removed. You know he knows it all. So now you play in our face, and you don't want us to just think about what he was found guilty of versus all the things that the judge knows that was done. Yeah. So now you playing, now you acting for Diddy right now in our face. Very disappointing. Yeah.
An indication that the sentence is not going to be the lightest, and that the prison he goes to is probably not going to be a minimum security one, which is probably what he hoped for. Okay, we are going to now do our TMZ live show because we have to redo it, because when we did it earlier in the day, we didn't know what the decision was. Yeah. Now we do. So Jackson, let's come over.
Redo it.
Do our TMZ live show.
Let me hear him say, we don't need to talk about Gina. Now he mad. Got his arms all folded. Look at it.
Yeah.
Reagan, go ahead.
And we're not going to mention, we don't have to mention the woman now because she's irrelevant.
I don't know. That's fine. We can leave it out. That's.
He don't want to look at him. He don't want to talk about Gina. Look at him.
I think there's a typo in the first pullout. Like, but if we're not going to do it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. The only thing is, what I wanted to add there was that even though the jury didn't believe there was proof beyond a reasonable doubt of violence.
No. This is exactly I just said this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to spike the football on you.
What?
That I said this last week. I said, just
Yeah.
because
You hear him saying, I'm going to take the high road. You hear it? Like, here, I told you Charles got it right. He said, I'm going to take the high road. I ain't going to spike the ball on you. AunTeaFee spiking the ball on you. Charles is nice. See, they trying to be quiet in the room, in the TMZ room, because they know your ass been wrong. And because Charles was trying to tell him, he damn sure was. So that's why he's saying, I'm gonna take the high road, you know. And I ain't gonna spike the ball on you. AunTeaFee spiking it. I'm picking it up, spiking it again. Picking it up, spiking it again. Spike, 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 spike.
Proof beyond a reasonable doubt of
violence. No, this is exactly. I just said this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to spike the football on you.
What?
That I said this last week. I said, just because the jury didn't convict him of sex trafficking,
right,
doesn't mean that they didn't that there was still violence.
Oh no, I said. What are you talking about?
Here we go. Now what
Dude,
you did say.
The Cassie video. The Cassie video. No, what I said was they didn't.
Now he
find
changed his
guilty on
story.
a reasonable doubt. They acquitted him.
Trafficking.
Correct. But that that's the element of fraud.
Means that there was no violence.
No,
that they didn't believe there was violence. They
Beyond
believed there
yes.
was violence without believing that he was trafficking.
I know that, but what I said was they acquitted him on
sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking, you need to prove force, coercion, or fraud. You have to prove one of those three things.
And they
did not do it beyond a reasonable doubt.
I agree. They were not. What they said was, what the jury said is they were not. They, meaning Jane and Cassie, were not forced or coerced into this.
They didn't say that. They said there wasn't proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Correct. My point is,
He still don't want to give in that he was wrong.
Right. That's why the judge
So they
saying
can
you're
find
a violent
force
guy.
even beyond a reasonable doubt. They could say he acted violently. Of course he did.
No.
He acted
I just
violently.
disagree with you. I disagree with you.
How?
Because every time the prosecution brought up the force and everything else, they were trying to do it in connection with the freak-offs. And what I'm saying to you is that the jury did not believe there was enough proof beyond a reasonable doubt. That doesn't mean
For
they didn't.
sex trafficking, not for force.
There's no crime of force.
There's no
Force is part of sex
We're
trafficking.
talking about two different things. There's force, and then there's just violence, right? So,
Well, we see the 2016 video. We know there was
And
violence.
so does the
beyond
judge.
that,
That's why he's
Jane saying that he testifying in great
2024
detail about him beating the shit out of her last year.
I know, but they
Yeah.
weren't doing that for the purpose
I know
of
that-
bail.
No,
They were doing it to convict him on sex
I
trafficking.
agree
Yes,
with you, but
absolutely.
my point is, clearly the judge is still looking at all that stuff and saying, here's a violent guy. I'm not letting you out. I know you weren't convicted of sex trafficking.
Little
by
ass.
force, fraud, or
You
coercion.
wrong. You got it wrong.
Because
But
the
you're a
bail
violent guy, so I'm not letting
the
you
bail
out.
analysis has nothing to do
No,
with
it-
the conviction. Nothing.
Right.
It's
But when-
only are you
And in
dangerous?
fact,
What I'm
the judge
saying
makes
to you
a
is
point
this.
in there and saying that just because this is how I'm feeling about bail, it will not impact sentencing necessarily. What is the sentence?
Yeah, he did say that. He said the court offers no view as to how the parties' argument
No
about
view.
the evidence will.
That was
pass out
at
for
first.
purposes of sentencing. Right, but you're
the judge,
saying he.
the judge has discretion.
Of course he
And
does,
the question
yeah.
is, does he give him the light? Does he give him the medium, or does he throw the book at him?
Absolutely.
But saying don't read into
Don't
this
read
to
into
mean
this
that I'm
decision,
gonna-
which is a separate analysis from my sentence.
I understand that.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
It's still bad news for Diddy in that sense.
I would agree
Okay,
with you.
but hold on. The point that I'm making before we start the show
Y'all see this?
is that
He still don't want to let it go.
believe that any of the sex trafficking proved where there was proof of force, fraud, or coercion beyond a reasonable doubt. Correct. That doesn't.
Harvey, Charles, y'all can, I'm finna spike the ball on his ass again. It don't matter what you think or what the jury thought. The judge at this time, right now, today, you think that the judge don't think that there was trafficking? You crazy as hell. If you don't think that the judge don't think that the jury got it wrong, you crazy as hell. So yeah, he wasn't convicted of it, but in his sentencing, the maximum the is based on what the judge know, what the jury missed, or what it was redacted, and all of that. So if you want to hold on to the Mann Act, oh, the Mann Act, Mann Act, Mann Act, oh, the Mann Act, Mann Act, Mann Act, and the judge is saying it's more to it than that. And if the jury would have followed my instructions and just used the two items of the racketeering that they used that found him guilty of, then he would have been found guilty. But because they did not follow my instructions, I'm finna put a little rough justice on here. Now you can play on words if you want to. Harvey, you lost whatever bet. Charles don't want to spike your ass with the football. I'ma hit you with it. I'ma throw it upside your head. Stop playing dumb. He finna get it. He finna get it. He finna take that, take that. What? Take that, take that. And all avenues for appeal, the judge nipped that shit in the bud for him going forward. And now he finna make him feel it. Now, if you don't like it, take that ass whooping for him.
Doesn't mean there wasn't evidence of it. And so in a civil case, maybe he'd lose that.
There was evidence. They looked over the evidence, remember? They looked over the evidence. So now you want evidence. There was evidence that was presented. Y'all killing me moving the goalposts. Y'all killing me. Yeah. Now you want evidence. Yeah. It was redacted. Unredacted. I want to see it all. That's what the judge say. Why? Don't cover that shit now. Don't cover it now. Show me the money.
But there was some evidence, and the jury may have said, yeah, I kind of think he did it, but I don't have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I haven't.
He trying, y'all, ain't he? He trying hard. He said he don't even want to talk about old Gina. She's irrelevant. She is a non-factor.
Yes. The judge can look at that and say there was evidence.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't beyond a reasonable doubt.
He's not going to convict him for the purpose of
for the purpose of bail. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay?
And sentencing.
What I said last week, but it's all right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like 100%. No, it's not. It is. I said they didn't prove. You said. No, I tell you what I said. No, they didn't prove. Try to tell me what I said. Well, hold on. True, they didn't prove force fraud or.
Look at him, y'all.
In the sex trafficking. Correct. That's all they did. That was the only thing the jury did. Correct. Okay. That doesn't. I mean, O.J. Simpson was convicted. O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder.
Forget about the jury. All I'm telling you is that you kept leaning on. Well, the jury didn't convict him on that, so the judge can't use that in his estimation in trying to decide bail.
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can, because there was evidence. There was.
Yes, you can.
Testimony that the judge certainly heard. There's video.
Absolutely.
And the judge clearly can say, yeah, I know he wasn't convicted on this of force, fraud, or coercion and sex trafficking, but I have seen enough to believe that this is a violent.
Absolutely.
From his own attorneys, and so I'm going to weigh that in whether or not I let him out of bail.
What the jury said.
Well, no, Jamie, I gotta say,
he's dismissing what the jury said.
I kind of have the same argument that Jamie does.
It's a wrong argument.
I think Jamie's got a point because
that's a state charge.
Where did they want to put him? Where did they want to put him?
What do you mean?
Where was he going to go if he got out on bail?
To Miami.
Yeah. Where? His home.
His home in Star
And
Island.
would he be locked in his home?
Correct.
Yeah.
What's the violence issue?
Right.
He don't follow rules.
Law enforcement. According to, he's a man of unbelievable
Okay.
evil.
Now let's. Okay.
He never follow rules.
Why don't we save this for the show?
Where is this guy
That's what we're
gonna
gonna get.
He walks out of his
You
house.
just set him up.
Okay, so this was
You
fun.
gotta set him
Okay,
up.
He don't follow
now
rules.
we're gonna do our show. Oh gosh. Welcome to TMZ Live, everybody. No.
What the hell is wrong with you? They told him to keep his hands to himself how many times? He broke the law, knowing that he was breaking the law. He didn't care. And the day before he was supposed to turn himself in, he was doing a freak off. He don't care. He gonna have freak offs and shit in his. He is not gonna follow the rules. He gonna figure out a way to put that device on somebody, the dog's leg, and hell, the dog gonna be in the house, or he gonna be on the boat somewhere. Yeah, he gonna be in that tunnel, having women tied up and shit. Right, Scott. He said he can't stop, won't stop. The hell is wrong with you? Why you going to bat for Pete unless you won? Yeah, they scared to tell him he wrong. Better sit your little old 4 feet tall ass down. Now he said Gina is irrelevant. Do I even want to hear the rest of this?
No. Yes. Dear God, no.
Where is D.L. Hughley? D.L. Hughley probably laughing in their face.
Walks out of his house.
You just set him up. Okay, so this was fun. Set him up. Now we've riled up everybody. So now we're gonna do our show. Oh God. Welcome to TMZ Live, everybody. No.
Girl, you are a non-factor. And your ass is subject to go to jail. Let's hear what somebody else done said. Hell,
Should I tell the story about my phone call and this thing?
you who?
No. Yes. Dear God, no. That, like, some light on myself anyway. Should I tell the story about my phone call and this thing? No. Yes. Dear God, no. That could be. Do it a little later. Here we go. Welcome to TMZ Live. Diddy is not going anywhere soon. Denied once again. Denied bail by the judge. The judge made it clear he will be in this lockup facility until October 3rd when he is sentenced.
Now, the judge pointed out, and I don't know if this is to try and make
He said, don't ask no more.
it's saying that's just 60 days away. Now, easy for the judge to say, Diddy clearly did not want to spend the next 60 days in jail, but that is where it's going to be.
And he will spend more time than the 60 days because then he gets sentenced.
Right.
And we don't know what the sentence is, but I think
Bonafide, not if Diddy done threaten him.
in his order today.
Not if Diddy done threatened to expose him. I think that came up. Because what would be the reason? Okay, Bonafide, can I, do I need to crack your face? Do I need to, I'm in the spiking spirit. Y'all, do I need to spike Bonafide? Huh? Do I need, y'all tell me, do I need to let Bonafide make it? Talking about Trump or Diddy, will pardon him. Do I need to spike him? Spike that ball. How much time do you think do I need to spike that ball? Because let me tell you something. There would have been no reason for him to sit down and have a discussion about pardoning Diddy when he has made every intention on not discussing pardoning GHISLAINE. He done moved her, but he still have not said nay or yay about pardoning. He came out and said, nah, it ain't look, nah, he turned on me. He wasn't loyal. When I ran for office, he has some very bad things to say about me. So he made it really hard. The guy said, so it's looking like that. Yeah, no. Huh? He sat down. He sat down to let somebody interview him about Diddy, all to come back and say, no. It's a no for me. I was nice to the black guy. He didn't say that, but that's what he wanted to say. You know, we were good long as we was talking about, grabbing on some tits and booties and shit. Look at the tits on her and shit. Can I have her and you have her? Can we swing and swap this shit out? Oh, y'all was good when y'all was talking dirty. Yeah. Y'all, they was good. They go way back. You understand? He had pictures of Diddy was hanging with the first wife. Him and Kim Porter days. They go way. Diddy didn't even have his veneers, his dentures and shit. He still had them little bitty green ass teeth with all that tartar buildup. Yeah, they go way back. They go back. They go way back. Yeah. They go back to when Diddy's suits was big, the big and baggy. Yeah. He done been through Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. Yeah, he done been through all of that with Diddy. And so Diddy said, what? And now he reminding y'all what Diddy said. He said this. Yeah, he changed on me. So I'm going to turn my back on him. It's a no for me. And you think he going to pardon him? Yeah, no. He going to have to break major bread. He going to have to. Yeah, and he knows that right now that they digging in files and shit, trying to pinpoint him here and there. And Diddy records everything. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could think that bonafide. I don't know. No, I don't know why he would come out and put a no on Diddy, but won't give a yes or no on oh girl. He moved her to where they don't even have guards. Huh? He moved her to where they don't even have guards. And he sent his replacement in to review those files. And the replacement for Comey said, oh, no. Comey was doing him a favor, talking about 4 or 5 years. We want him to go past the 10 years for each person. That's how it started with Harvey. That's how it started. Yeah, because old boy Clayton want more than the 10 years for each person. What is that called, y'all? Yeah, they want the new district attorney wants more than the normal. A special something. Yeah, I can't think of what it is that they want. Yeah. So they want more than what Miss Comey wanted. Is it on here or is it on the other one? Yeah. Y'all missed that. This is how that started out. No, it's on the other one. Hold on so y'all can know. Yeah, because they had to redo their whole show. Because Harvey was talking that shit before the judge slammed the door on Diddy. Yeah, he talking about, oh, judge, my feet. He said, move your feet out the way. Move your ass out the way. He done slammed the door. Get your feet out the way. Trying to stick your feet in the door like I ain't gonna slam it. I'ma slam this mother. Hey, Kelly. Diddy got to throw some Democrats up under the bus. Then Trump will give him a part. Well, yeah, he better do something. He better do something. Is this one it? Where is the one that he's removing? Hold on. Where's the one that he was talking earlier? So I can see what the name of it is that He was saying, yeah, it was this one. Let's see if I can get the name of it. Hold on.
Have you been researching dental implants? Here's the part no one likes.
Y'all hit the like button.
Wearing those temporaries for up to 10 months.
There's no conjunction there.
Well, that's fine.
It's performative.
That's what?
They're showing her as much as they're showing
Let's see.
Violations.
So it sounds
And-
like
This was earlier.
Judges in both of those cases held the
Yeah,
defendant
see, he was trying to say that judge wouldn't. Yeah, he was playing even in the judge's face. Harvey feelings hurt. He was all the way wrong. Let's go. Let's see if they name what it is.
across state lines for purposes of
You
prostitution.
could say fancy prostitution solicitation.
The legal papers are in. Now the judge is going to decide if Sean Diddy Combs is released on bail pending his sentence in October.
It's a no. I'm trying to hear what.
He has made his case for why he should be released.
This could happen today, by the way.
Offering a $50 million bail package, but prosecutors
He can't pay his way out, Kelly.
responded and said, not so fast.
So what the defense said was, you can't keep somebody in jail without bail for violating the Mann Act.
Yes, you can.
Taking prostitutes across state lines for purposes of
You
prostitution.
could say fancy prostitution solicitation.
Yeah, where you put them on a plane.
Transported them across
Yeah,
state lines. Right.
and you can't deny them bail. And the defense said, find us cases where this has happened, where the judge has denied.
And they
Well, guess what?
did.
Prosecutors found a couple cases.
Look at Harvey.
And they
Look at
cited
him.
them in these documents they filed. They said that there are two that they found. There could be more, I guess, but they found two cases in federal court where
Found them.
there were defendants who were charged with sex trafficking and the Mann Act, and in both of those cases, they were not convicted of sex trafficking, just like Diddy, and they were found guilty of the Mann Act violations.
So it sounds
The judges in both of those cases held the defendants without bail until sentencing.
so it's
So your teeth is clean, Miss Tom.
So these were federal trial judges. They're called federal district judges.
So look at him trying to minimize it.
Aaron Subramanian.
That's right. That's right. And so, number one, this law has been in effect for more.
It don't
than
matter. It's still in the
100
books.
years. And to only find two is not a great number because it looks like
Now it's not a great number. See, I can't stand people like this. Y'all said that there were none. Now they done presented to. We don't know how many they found, but they don't present it to. Now you finna make light of that. Don't none of that shit matter. The judge slammed the door on their foot and said, get on. Now stop. Fuck. King wasting my time. Okay? I ain't changing my mind before his sentencing. So get comfortable and start hitting the bag. Learning how to fight. Cause you's a bad boy for life. Fight them guys. Baby them. Yeah. Lil Ronnie and Ricky. Fight them the way you was fighting them girls. That's what you do. Man up, nigga, cause you's bad boy for life. You done had people unalived and all type of shit. Yeah. You got anger issues. Take that anger out on the guy who calling you out and threatening you. Handle your business. Handle your... Oh, you ain't got no gun. Oh, you ain't got no bodyguard. You ain't got no backup. You ain't made friends. I thought they was all clapping for you when your ass came back. Where they at? You can't dance around. You can't give up your romaine noodles. You can't give up your cup. Who like biscuits? Have you found the big guy that like them big ass biscuits? He won't help you? Oh, you stuck like Chuck? Or they found out that it was some kids redacted on the Discovery? Because old boy let it out last night. It's kids on there. Minors. Or they found out that you was kin with kids. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's keep listening.
They are almost targeting individuals.
Keep that same
if it only comes up twice like that. But that's an argument. The bigger argument is that federal trial judges, district judges, if they make a ruling, it has no binding effect on all of the other hundreds.
Look at him making excuses. That's why he was arguing with him, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Value. In other words, if it were an appeals court that said,
look at Charles looking at him like, why?
Violation of the Mann Act pending conviction without bail.
Let me give you the eyes. I'm finna give your ass the eyes.
Presidential effect, and it would be really important.
Higher court.
Higher court, or Supreme Court.
Right.
But here, it's a federal judge.
So this is more like a suggestion to the judge in Diddy's case.
Not even
Say, here's how a couple of your
let me look at you in your eyes, man.
Right, but there's no precedential value to it. And the other thing you got to remember is just maybe 2 months ago or less, the Supreme Court had a case where they
look at it, really trying. I don't need to hear.
Judges,
what's the name of it?
Individual trial federal judges to block executive orders that they felt were unconstitutional. And the United States Supreme, well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I can't. They're not saying the name of it. How? I don't.
Because you got all these judges.
I don't want to. Cause see, I don't want to hear this. Let's hear this one.
If you want to get your name, phone number, and address off the internet, but want to handle the removals yourself, Opter is free.
In federal court and a decision on whether he'll.
There's a lot of rumors floating around the internet and in the news. There's a lot of rumors floating around the internet and in the news media.
This is.
Hold on. Hey, chocolate latte.
Sitting down with one of the criminal defense attorneys of Sean Diddy Combs as the convicted rat mogul awaits sentencing in federal court and a decision on whether he'll actually be released from jail before sentencing. Oh, and by the way, there's also talk that he may get a pardon from the president. Yeah, all this going on. I get the chance to actually discuss what has been happening behind the scenes with Diddy's lawyer.
He been getting his ass threatened. He's scared.
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse.
He can't do to them guys what he did to them girls, and he's scared.
Okay, we're about to do something that we've never done here on Sidebar. For a show that
shout out to Jesse.
Aspect of Sean Diddy Combs' criminal case, we are about to speak with one of his defense attorneys, Alexandra Shapiro. She is part of his legal team at trial. And the trial, by the way, ended
other guys,
acquitted of the most serious charges.
Harvey Levins, ain't that Harvey Levins?
He was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in
daughter.
prostitution. They call these the Mann Act violations, moving women and men across state lines for the purposes of commercial sex work. Now, we have talked about Alexandra Shapiro before. She was the attorney, for example, who argued for admitting that video of rape accuser Mia wishing Combs a happy birthday after the alleged assault. She played a key role.
Thank you, hot chocolate latte.
Questions about could Combs' convictions be thrown out? What could he be sentenced to? Will he make bail before he's sentenced?
Nope.
Can he get a presidential pardon? This feels like a great opportunity to get some insight into all this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Like, why didn't they call Christina Coram?
Thank you. Y'all see? She said just want to support. What? Hold on, I'm trying to read it. Hold on. Just want to support. Much success. Thank you. I so greatly appreciate it. It won't let me fill in your heart. There you go. Woohoo, y'all. Thank you. Who next? Who else want to support? Let's go.
All right, so let me get right into it. I am joined right now by Alexandra Shapiro herself. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here on Sidebar. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I have a lot of things I want to get into. We will talk about all the latest developments. But first of all, I got to ask, what was it like to be part of a team like this one? Because you know, every argument, every
and the world stopped because Harvey didn't know.
Debated. on
Did
a
it better
national, maybe
expose
international stage. This is
what
a
he
major
got on
case.
Biden?
And also, by the way, you were representing somebody and are representing somebody who, for the past 2 years, has taken quite.
He better have some on Barack. That's who he hate the most.
2 years. So to be representing Sean Combs in this massive trial, what was it like for you?
I mean, it was actually an amazing experience. First of all, the team was fantastic. I mean, I've never worked with so many great lawyers with different talents meshing together. And it was great after I've been working on this case since last September, dealing with the client being just bashed in the media, bashed by a ton of frivolous civil lawsuits.
Well, baby finna bash his ass in jail.
Against him. It was great to finally be able to help him have his day in court, and so the actual witnesses could be heard, and we had a chance to really expose a lot of the truth of what was really behind all of this.
Obviously, this is a win, right? He was acquitted of the most serious charges that he was facing. Did there ever become a time, though, during the course of the trial, maybe in the first several weeks, when you're like, I'm a little nervous, I think he may get convicted of racketeering or sex trafficking, or you were confident throughout the prosecution's case that they just weren't reaching their burden?
Well, we felt good about the trial most of the time and we're confident, but you never can be too confident in a federal criminal trial. I mean, especially in the Southern District of New York, the government almost always wins, and it's a huge challenge and really, really difficult to win. So we were always concerned. There were points where it seemed to be going well, but you can never bank on that.
By the way, talking law, like we do so many times here on Law and Crime Sidebar, there is a reason that Morgan & Morgan, our sponsor, is America's largest injury law firm. They're a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. You know why? Because they win a lot. They have recovered over /LC Sidebar by clicking the link below.
Come on, man.
QR code on screen.
Don't be lame. Say reproductive health care so we can hear all the babies cheer.
All the people who testified against Sean Combs were not being truthful, or were taking their accounts, were listening to their accounts, and what they're saying just didn't amount to a federal crime. Is it a mixture of both? Just trying to understand what the argument was.
I mean, I think it was a mixture. It depended on the witness, and a lot of the witnesses were telling the truth, but the truth didn't hurt Sean. It helped him. There were some people who were shading the truth.
They were telling the truth.
The great thing about it was there was a ton of evidence in written communications that people had created at the time, all these text messages, there were videos, and that really helped us expose the truth, because these were things that had been recorded at, this is what people were, the girlfriends, others were saying to Sean at the time of the events in question. And so, you know, there was really no way for the witnesses or the government to hide what was in the written documents.
Now, I will tell you, if you had been following what we've been doing here on Sidebar, Law and Crime, we call balls and strikes. So there were, during the course of the trial, we would say, this was the strength of the prosecution, this was the strength of the defense. There was such effective cross-examination of these key witnesses that we all kind of wondered, you know, was the defense going to call any witnesses? And you really did. And what was that decision? Because I understand there were witnesses who were planning to be called. There was an idea to put forward a defense case. There was a choice to not to do that. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what that strategy was about?
Sure. I mean, that's always, you always have to be ready to put on a case. And, you know, at the end of the day, what it comes down to at the end of the government's case is how well do you feel it went in for us? And it's always risky to put on a defense case. People don't realize that, but there's always two sides to everything. And if you put on a witness, and even if it's, you know, 70% good, if the prosecution scores some points, it can really undermine you. And so if you feel like the government's case has gone in really well for you, it can be actually riskier to call any witnesses. People don't necessarily realize that, but at the end of the day, we just made a decision that we thought the case had come in well, and we didn't want to, you know, sort of change the dynamic in a way that
you didn't want them to be cross-examined.
Was Christina Quorum ever potentially going to be called by the defense? We were all shocked why the government never chose to call her. Since, I don't know, her name came up almost every single day through almost every witness. Was there a plan by the defense to call her?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into specific.
I had to ask.
But it was more of an overall decision just not to put anyone on and just to use a few pieces of evidence that
it's the cross-examination that they didn't want to take a chance on.
Just not to put anyone on and just to use a few pieces pieces of evidence.
Thank you, Sheila.
Christina Quorum ever potentially going to be called by the defense? We were all shocked why the government never chose to call her, since, I don't know, her name came up almost every single day through almost every witness. Was there a plan by the defense to call her?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into specific
I had to
plans
ask.
or
I had to
non-plans,
ask.
but it was more of an overall decision just not to put anyone on and just to use.
Thank you,
a few
Sheila,
pieces
for
of
the
evidence
super
that
sticker. Thank
What
you.
do you think about the prosecution's choice not to call her? Because I will tell you, we did lunchtime shows, live shows with our audience. I would say 80% of the questions that we got during 7 weeks of testimony was, why is she not being called and will she be called? Were you surprised the prosecution chose not to call who was supposed to be the main alleged co-conspirator?
I mean, I don't think so. I think that she would have been a double-edged sword for them, and they probably didn't want to take the risk. As you saw during the trial, even a number of the witnesses that they had always planned to call that they did put in kind of blew up in their faces or had positive things to say about Sean that maybe they weren't anticipating, and so it would have been pretty risky for them to put Christina Quorum on the stand, I think.
There was so much being said about your client in that trial, obviously in the media, facing a number of different lawsuits. We also wondered whether or not he, and it's his decision alone, whether he wanted to take the stand and give his story, tell his story, give his version of events. Obviously, there are a ton of risks that come with putting a defendant on the stand, but it would be his choice. Was there a conversation about that?
Well, I mean, I can't get into, attorney-client privilege conversations. Obviously he thought about it, decided not to, and, as I indicated earlier, we thought the case had gone in really well for us, and so we liked where we were, so that was basically the decision.
Now,
stop buying generic Viagra if you haven't tried this
Hold on.
100 milligram generic Viagra for 87 cents.
Why y'all talking about Viagra when we talking about Diddy?
Now, the big news, some of the big news, a lot of big news came out after the trial, was the firing of Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor in this case. Now, there's obviously a political angle to it. There are comments that she has made, but I have to ask, you going head to head against her for so many weeks, I mean, months before that, the firing of her, what did you make of that?
I mean, I think it was unfortunate. She's a very well-respected prosecutor. We had good sort of professional relationships with her during the course of the trial, and I don't really think it had anything to do with the trial.
It had everything to do with Epstein files.
Can't really say anything beyond that.
And Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's talk about
It's the Epstein thing.
We can get into quite a bit. Let's talk bail. Okay, so we did a previous sidebar breaking down the defense's renewed motion for release, several arguments for why Sean Combs, should be released on bail pending sentencing, acquitted of the most serious charges.
It's a no.
There's no comparable case of someone who is convicted.
He ain't going nowhere.
An act alone and not engaging in sex
He
trafficking.
gonna have to fight his way
for financial
out
gain.
and hope it's better in the federal penitentiary.
Issues plaguing the MDC, how it is dangerous, how he's not a risk of flight, not a danger to the community. But do you think Judge Arun Subramanian is going to be persuaded by your letter, by your motion? Because obviously he specifically highlighted after the verdict your client's violence, how the defense asserted at trial that Combs was violent. Do you think he's going to have a change of opinion now based upon the legal papers?
Well, I think we certainly hope so. And, as we pointed out in the papers, the unfortunate violence that occurred was mostly a really long time ago, other than the one incident in June that Jane testified to, which was kind of unusual. I mean, they had been together for 3 years. There had been no violence, and she essentially
straight to
started
prison.
the fight. I'm not excusing anything, but it was.
And baby, if y'all don't think he triple weary because he know his name is in that Epstein shit some way, somehow. And oh boy, Lil Rod say he got evidence ain't never seen before. And in that paperwork that was redacted in his trial has minors listed. He want to get out, and we'll never hear from him again. I'm gonna tell you, he gonna pull a Epstein, and he gonna be on one of them child trafficking islands somewhere if they let his ass out.
Kind of a one-off, and I think the government really hadn't put in any evidence of.
Well, he better start the talking.
Intercontinental video, remember that was.
I don't think so. I would have thought, and I'm gonna be honest. If Maureen Comey was still there, then yes, I would think that they would want him to snitch on others. But to snitch on others that is a double-edged sword, because then there's a worry of Trump. So who he got in place now? He straight up for Trump. So they don't want him to snitch now, because who he gonna snitch on? Jay-Z, okay. But will Jay-Z bring up Trump? See, now it's a New York and Florida thing. So the Department of Justice is getting out anybody who will be bringing up Trump. And so that may would have worked if Comey was still there, but no, not with Clayton. They don't want him to snitch. Yeah, they want him to snitch on Jay-Z and whoever else. But I'm going to say this. They're going to have to come up with some people, because even his base wanting the traffickers out. They want them out now. What's the secret? What's the cover-up? This cover-up is way too big. Too many people. Yeah. It's ugly now. It's real ugly. This time you was doing laundry. I don't know how this evidence about the children could not have been entered. Let me show you. Was you up with me late in the midnight hour? When that paperwork, that redacted paperwork, and the judge says unredact all of this. Here I go, y'all. I'm finna start. Let me get over there. Let me pause here. I'm tired of her. Let me get over here. Let me pull it up. Let my people who missed it last night get a chance. Texas Democrats speak from Chicago after breaking quorum during the spell. Yep. Bail officially denied. And he said, don't bring your ass back here no more. Ain't nothing you gonna be able to say, hey, I'll be sure. What you talking about now? I'll be sure. Hold on, y'all. Let me get to it. Diddy headed to... Nope. That's what Harvey's saying. If he that violent, he ain't going to no Camp Crystal Lake. Well, you know, Camp Cupcake. He too violent. He in there crying, talking about somebody threatening him, an inmate, saying, bring that ass here. What? How dare you be scared? I need for him to change his name. Talking about bad boy for life. What type of shit is that? And you running to the prison warden office saying they trying to hit me. They trying to hit me. Hold on. Let me get to it.
The judge wants to.
Let me get to the paperwork.
Going against him, right, Diddy? And Diddy's gonna have to get the right candidate in office. And these fools running around here.
Let's see. See, this is what we was on last night when I was falling asleep. Well, it wasn't last night. It was way in the early in the morning, and I was falling asleep. and he was going over this paperwork. And I heard him say, oh, let me take it off so y'all can see this. Can you see this? See this? And this was dated April 17, 2025. And this is the redacted minor victim number 2. Victim. This is what was redacted. Minor number 2. You understand? See, this is the part the judge can't let go. See, the judge can say that the jury may have gotten it wrong, but I have evidence. I heard, they motioned for stuff to be removed. You understand? All of that. So a lot of stuff that was redacted, but the judge knows, and this is why he won't let him out. So there was a minor number 1, and there was a minor number 2 that the jury and the people know nothing about.
Black that part out. Why not let that part hang? This filing in the other day, on the 31st. If the left one don't get you, if the left
Y'all
one
see?
don't get you.
So that's the problem. Why Diddy ain't going nowhere. It's a whole bunch of stuff that we, the people, knew nothing about. We was asking, where was this, where was that? It was redacted.
Let me put a little nugget that I told y'all yesterday and the day before. When Donald Trump's guy, Jay Clayton, on the right-hand side of your screen, when he put this filing in the other day, on the 31st, he redacted that part that's blacked out. He blacked that part out. The judge specifically asked him, because the judge saw the part that's blacked out. The judge says, hey, why did you guys black that part out? Why not let that part hang?
So that must be Jenny, but the defendant suggested that he went several years without inflicting violence on any person. Simply is not true. The defendant did engage in several acts of violence between 2018 and 2024, and then it's redacted.
October the 3rd, on Judgment Day, when it's time to get that time.
So, Miss Tom, I don't know why they allowed it to be removed.
What the hell is going on? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't read, you need to read that line. And let me tell you something. The judge does not need to be disciplined because the judge helped Diddy out a long way. In fact, the judge helped Diddy out so much, the judge left all of this information out of the case.
Yep, he left all of that minors. Yep.
See, all of these fools running around here, hey man, the judge ain't fair. The judge ain't fair. No, you're rolling, shut your damn mouth. The judge damn near helped Diddy by leaving all of this stuff out the case. Even that.
Yep.
On your screen.
Minor victim number 2.
Because in this case, the judge did not allow, like R. Kelly's case, they used corroborating witnesses with different testimony against Diddy like they did against R. Kelly. That helped R. Kelly get convicted. The judge, before this case, Diddy's lawyers did a great job. They got all of this thrown out. And the judge, he didn't break no laws. The judge threw this out because he says basically it wasn't prevalent to the timeline of this case. So what the judge did was he threw all it out. See,
there were minors, y'all.
Around here saying, hey man, why didn't they have Big Gene Deal up there testifying since he know everything? Well, because if you know your role and shut your mouth, you would understand that this case did not go into the timeline of Gene Deal when he was with Sean Diddy Combs. Gene Deal was with Diddy in the 90s and in the first couple of years of the 2000s. This case started like in 08, 07, something like that. So this was out of his jurisdiction. There was nothing for him to testify between the time of
Let me see
Boeing
what else is
07
going on.
in
So,
2024.
y'all see there were minors, at least 2, that was brought up in this trial that they redacted. At least 2. Trying to see what. Let me see what old girl's saying. Hold on, let me go over here because I'm almost out of juice. Y'all already know that, and my likes ain't up. Oh boy said, it's over. Very, very bad news for Diddy. Judge dragged him. Let me hear what she said.
Feed the whole crew with 2 medium two-topping pizzas.
Why the judge was dragging him,
I excel.
I was over there dragging Harvey because he's sick to his stomach.
Oh my God, you guys, come in, sit down and shut the door.
Shut the door. Come on, Tisa.
Judge Aaron read him down. On top of that, do you know that as much as Diddy is trying to act like he is king of the hill running the jail, do you know that he is being threatened in jail by other inmates and tried to use that as an excuse to get
Scary ass.
Judge Aaron said, not today, not tomorrow. I don't care how many stupid pieces Christian Combs puts out about missing his mama and needing his daddy. Boy, you almost 30 years old. If you don't suck it up, baby, it's a cold world. You better bundle up. Y'all, let's get into this. Let me also say that the real shorty doo-wop, the real shorty wop, woo-woo-wop, Gina's letter didn't make any difference. If you guys remember, Gina wrote this.
It was a non-factor, baby.
To the verbiage she used and saying this letter was written a while ago because it said in one line, Sean Diddy Combs stands accused. He's already been convicted. You've already been convicted. So when was this letter written? But it doesn't matter because Judge Aaron said, you want a current legal piece? You want something current? I'll give you something current. How about this is hot off of my desk? Hell no, Diddy, you ain't gonna go. Let's get into this, all right?
You ain't
This is what the judge said.
going nowhere.
Defendant Sean Combs renews his request for the bail pending his sentencing. You guys, hold on, because we're going to get to the part where Judge Aaron reveals that Diddy said he was being threatened by inmates. And it makes me look at Mark Agnifil. I thought you was getting rounds of applause. I thought people were like, oh my God, you're our hero. I thought you were inspiring everybody in the MDC.
Let's go, Taysa.
MDC was trying to break you down now. I don't know.
They trying to bend his ass over.
Or not, I do know based off of all my seasons of
They trying to bend that ass over.
With ADOLPH that they punish you in jail if they think that you are a PDF file or a predator. I wonder if that got anything to do with it. I'm not saying Sean Diddy Combs is a PDF file or a predator.
Oh, it's minors in the paperwork.
Preys on women. But I am saying that if we found out the other stuff is true, I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. So let's get into this. Defendant Sean Combs renews his request for bail pending his sentencing. On this application, Combs doesn't contest that detention is mandatory for his crimes of conviction, which, if you guys don't know, there's an actual law that the Congress put in saying that if you are convicted under the
He needs to be
it's mandatory being held without bail.
He needs to have to register as a sex offender.
The court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the person is not likely to flee or pose a danger to the safety of any other person or community if released. Now, keep in mind that when the prosecution wrote this side,
he needs to have to register.
They said he 100% is a flight risk, and we were like, why? And they were like, because we at first thought it was going to be 4 to 5 years. Now we're asking for significantly more time. They are saying that now the prosecution is going to go to 4 to 5 years per charge.
Yep.
Where's all those Diddy people that were out there doing the lambada, the forbidden dance outside of court? You think they're still smiling? It don't matter. Let's get back into this later.
She talking about ratchet.
There are 2 exceptional reasons why such person's detention would not be appropriate. Exceptional reasons exist where, now he's going to cite case law, where there's a unique combination of circumstances giving rise to a situation that are out of the ordinary. This is in USV colon. Also, they said this statutory framework creates a presumption in favor of detention that places a plainly substantial burden of proof on the defendant seeking release. So again, when you have the burden of proof, that means that you got to do everything and start windmilling in a court of law to prove why you deserve to get out. They said, as for the risk of flight or danger, Diddy fails to meet his burden by clear and convincing evidence for the reasons set forth on the record at the July 2nd, 2012 hearing. Increasing the amount of the bond or devising additional conditions doesn't change the calculus given the circumstances and the heavy burden of proof that Diddy bears. Now, let's get back into that burden of proof, okay? When you have the burden of proof, you are starting from 0 and you got to go to 100. Diddy, the judge is saying, is acting like he was already at 100 and the prosecution has to minus. Yeah, that's what happened in the criminal case. The prosecution had the burden of proof. Diddy was starting at 100, which is innocent, and they had to work their way down. Diddy seems to be not understand. Now, let's keep going because I know he is mad at the Dream Team. Okay, they did the impossible and got that mofo out of Rico. However, because of the admissions they had to make to sway the jury, this is the exact reason that Diddy still will be in jail for at least 4 to 5 years, but like the prosecution said, it's substantially more. Okay, let's get back into this letter. Okay, they said that Diddy failed to meet his burden by clear and convincing evidence for the reasons set forth. They said that increasing the amount of the bond or devising additional conditions doesn't change the calculus given the circumstances and the heavy burden of proof that Diddy bears. Judge Aaron then goes to quote himself from what he said at the bail hearing on July 2nd, which honestly makes me laugh because Judge Aaron was like, y'all gonna stop playing with me. I said what I said and I said it with my chest. He quoted himself.
My whole chest.
The defense conceded the defendant's violence in personal relationships. This type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police with conditions. On this basis alone, Diddy's application is denied. He goes on to say, even if the flight or danger requirement were satisfied, and it's not, there is no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. Combs' Mann Act arguments might have traction in a case that didn't involve evidence of violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of prostitution at issue. But the record here contains evidence of all three. While Combs may contend a sentencing that is contend at sentencing that this evidence should be discounted, and that what happened was nothing more than a case of willing swingers utilizing the voluntary services of escorts for their mutual pleasure, the government takes an opposite view. That Cassie Ventura and Jane were beaten, they were coerced, they were threatened, they were lied to, and victimized by Combs as part of their participation in these events. This makes this case unlike any of the cases Diddy points to and places it outside the narrow exception to detention that Congress otherwise deemed mandatory. And you better let these dummies know it don't matter whether Dina is fine getting dogs stomped. It don't matter whether Dina looks at a violent relationship as an up and down. This ain't about you anymore, dummy. This is about protecting the public. Because even a victim consenting to be victimized is not enough. If you consent to be taken off this earth, I'm sorry. And if you consent to somebody taking you off this earth, grinding you up and using your butt as hamburger helper for the Last Supper that they're feeding the Cannibals Club, okay, that's you, boo-boo. That's you, boo-boo. Okay? That does not mean that we have to consent at all to letting that type of person stay in the public eye. And that's basically what Judge Aaron was saying. Well, let's get into this dragging. Okay. Okay, wait, where were we? Okay, ooh. This makes this case unlike any of the cases Combs points to and places it outside the narrow exception to detention that Congress otherwise deemed mandatory. To be clear, as indicated at the July 2nd hearing, the court offers no view as to how the parties' competing arguments about the evidence will cash out for purposes of sentencing, which is happening in just 60 days. At this juncture, however, the record doesn't establish the kind of out-of-the-ordinary exceptional circumstances requiring immediate release. Now, here's the part that it gagged me. Combs also points to squalor and danger at the Metropolitan Detention Center, conditions that he says have been aggravated by the federal government's aggressive budget cuts this year. This fool is desperate. Now that Trump left him to float in the wind, he is doing everything he can. Aggressive budget cuts. The public
Can y'all still hear? My camera's stuck. Can y'all still hear?
But as Combs acknowledges, the MDC staff has been able to keep
Oh,
him
my.
safe and attend to his needs, even during an incident of threatened violence from an inmate. Then he quoted USB Chavez. He said the court found that the conditions at the MDC rose to the level of exceptional reasons, warning release where it was undisputed that the defendant posed no risk of flight or danger and where unique circumstances counseled release, including the defendant's advanced age and serious medical conditions, which require care that the MDC may not be able to provide. Those facts are not present here, and nothing in Chavez, that's this pivotal case that Diddy tried to cite to get out, suggests that the exceptional reasons weren't released
I think I'm
for
stuck.
any person awaiting sentencing in the MDC. Rather, the MDC is a factor, admittedly a serious one, to consider along with others in making that determination. For these reasons, as well as those stated in the record at the July 2nd hearing, Combs fails to satisfy his burden to demonstrate the entitlement to release. The motion for bail is denied. Y'all, listen. Thank God for Judge Aaron, and thank God for the Southern District of New York not falling for the okie doke, not falling for, like Maureen Comey said, we operate without fear or favor. And Emily, who is the lead prosecutor down on the case, literally said, don't worry, we ain't operating on fear or favor, because right now Diddy is out of both. You guys listen. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, I think I'm stuck. I think I'm stuck, y'all. I'm gonna have to be back. I'm gonna have to reboot because my camera's stuck. I'm stuck.